Let's put together the Gumball Machine bubblegum dome, which is so cute for gifts, for party favors, for any bubblegum lover in your life. So first, let's talk about what you need. You need one of these domes, which is half of a 3.15-inch 80 millimeter clear fillable ornament dome. So you can make two of these with each ornament that you get. And there will be a link below the video for where you can find those on Amazon. Then, because it's a gumball machine, I want to fill it with bubblegum and gumballs, obviously. So I found this gumball bag at the Dollar Tree, and I can get two of these filled with each bag. Then you're going to need the design where you'll get all the layers to cut all of these things on your Cricut, Silhouette, or other cutting machine. This is the backing. We're just going to hold it all together and stabilize it. And this is how the recipient is going to access the gumballs. When they're ready, they grab this tab, they pull back, and that peels apart. Then there's a white layer. So this is just layered paper crafting. Then there is the base, and I decided to do glitter for the base and the top. You can use regular, but you're going to see how cute glitter is. And then the pieces. This is optional. I've decided I'm going to use a pop dot or two on this project. Because we have quite a few small pieces that we're going to be gluing, I'm going to be using my reverse tweezers. So it's a reverse grip tweezer. When you squeeze it, it opens, and when you close it, it holds. So these are awesome. If you don't have any of these, find the link below so you can get these. Then a hot glue gun and some craft glue, tacky glue. So that's a tacky glue thicker than an Elmer's glue. Let's get started. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to attach the dome full of gumballs to the backing. So I filled the dome. You want to make sure it's going to be totally flat. You don't want it to bubble. Then I'm going to put the paper over top of it and flip it. If you try and flip the dome full of gumballs, trust me, it's not going to be good. Now you also want to make sure that the tip where you would put a string if you were making an ornament is going down towards this biggest part of the paper. That looks pretty good, but we're going to test where it is by placing the white piece over top. And this is going to line up perfectly along all of these edges so that you don't see the red. So you want to put that down and get it lined up, then hold the dome, lift the paper, don't move the dome, move the paper. And now we're just going to run a bead of hot glue all the way around the dome. And you want to make sure the glue is touching both the dome and the paper. So it's just like a home improvement project, caulking around the bathtub, around the windows, sealing everything in. So this is basically sealing this dome to the paper. And the reason I don't put it under the dome is because hot glue dries really quickly. I'm going to get all these little things off here. Hot glue dries really quickly. And so to be able to get the glue all the way around, get it placed down and in the perfect position, next to impossible. But you'll see it holds really nicely. You don't have to worry about it not being sturdy enough. Now we're going to place this down again. And the reason I'm putting this down before I add the glue is I want to make sure I do it correctly because it might not line up quite as well. Well, it lines up. Nope, it doesn't line up quite as well this way. So you want to make sure it's going to line up everywhere. Then you're going to lift it up and flip it. Now we're just going to add some tacky glue, focusing in particular around the edges, the outside edges. You want just a little. Enough for paper to stick to paper. You don't want it to be so wet that your paper is going to warp. All right, so now I'm going to flip that. Before I let any glue touch the other paper, I line it up, especially the farthest from the dome, and then just gently press down and work towards the candy dome. This isn't going to be totally flat, like if you were just gluing two pieces of paper together, because you have a bead of glue and the lip of the candy dome. So it is going to be buckled up a little bit there. And that's why we start down here and then I just press around the edges. So that's the first layer, which gives us the white of the bubblegum machine and also hides the glue and any unsightliness. Next, we're going to add our glitter pieces. Glitter's pretty easy to know which side to put glue on, the side that doesn't have the glitter. And again, we're just going to get everything lined up and then press down. And you can usually move it, slide it a teeny bit before you get it really pressed down. But oh my gosh, look how amazing that looks with the glitter. And now we're going to add the pieces. So let me just show you how this is going to go together. In the design, I gave you 3 little circles, but I mean, gumballs are just circles. So you can make whatever size you want, either with a hole punch or with your machine. I decided to make mine bigger and just do one big. So this is where the gumball's coming out, and then up here is going to be where you put your money, and then this is going to be the knob that you twist after you put your money in. So we need to just make sure we know that we have enough room for this knob. Now that is what I've decided I'm going to use a pop dot with. I want it to stick up a little bit from the paper. So I'm just going to put the pop dot and see how it's holding on the tweezers. Get the backing paper off, and then I can decide, do I want it straight? Do I want it crooked? I'm going to have it slightly turned. Everything else is so straight, right? And so see how that gives it a little bit of lift. Okay, now I'm going to just glue this because this is supposed to be inset within the glitter part. And I'm just eyeballing to get it centered. If you want to be more specific, you could put a ruler down to make sure it's perfect. Now I'm going to glue these 2 pieces together before I put them onto the glitter. And see how my tweezers are coming in really handy again. To get that lined up. Okay, I always keep toothpicks close by just in case something's not quite sticking. You'll notice I kept pushing on here. I didn't get the glue quite to the corner and it's popping up and it's bothering me. I'm just going to use a Q-tip. Get a little glue under there. Press that down so that stays down better. These tweezers are also great for holding these little pieces, so after you put glue on them, you don't have to figure out how to pick them up without getting a bunch of glue on your fingers, because you need to be able to press down without getting glue on it. Although I don't have it twisted quite right. So you want to make sure this line is parallel to the bottom because that's where you put your coin. You want to make sure when you glue one or a few gumballs down here, you don't go below this bottom line, because now this is going to cover that. And I am going to put 2 pop dots, or pop squares rather, on this to give it a little dimension. I'm going to turn this so I can get at it at a good angle. And now this is basically the tray that stops your gumball from shooting out onto the floor. And it's a little bit bigger than the gray part. So you want it to come off on the 2 ends. And that is it. Look at that. Oh my gosh, I love it. This would be great. You could poke a hole in it and use it as a really big, cool tag for a present. These would be great for birthday party favors, as I said at the beginning. You can write a message on the back. If you are going to write a message, I would do it before you glue it all together, when you can have the paper flat and it's easier to write on. But there you go.